as Ecowas is set, ready to strike Niger. They are going to use force. They are going to employ military force from all parts of West Africa. Cote d'Ivoire president met with Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Aso Villa, Abuja, and is hell-bent on striking Niger. Niger is also resolute. They are prepared. Of course, they got support from other neighboring countries, such as Burkina Faso and many others. They are ready to defend themselves. But what will become the outcome of every of these things that we are about to see? What will become of it once ECOWAS strike at Niger? Will there be bloodshed? Are they going to do it in a way that there will be minimum casualties, or is going to be a collateral damage? What is really going to happen in Niger? Nigerians are already, mocking ECOWAS, and this also could prompt ECOWAS to do what they call show of force. They might also want to pull their own weight here and there. And obviously, if they do strike Niger, I'm talking about ECOWAS, particularly the military might of Nigeria, there will be terrible consequences in Niger. Let us be sincere. Regardless of Burkina Faso, Guinea, whoever wants to join, they cannot match the military force of Nigeria, not to talk of the rest of the countries that are in support of this. And the reason, like I said before, why they are in support is because majority of them are afraid that such a revolution or coup could happen in their own country. So they need to make an example of Niger. I want you to listen to the president ousted, Gambia, and you're about to hear more. Stay put from the beginning of this video to the end of it, as you're about to hear what you have never heard before. I'll be right here listening, and we are going to break it down. Analysis will be done on it. Let's get right into it.
I think rather than spend those billions on arms to kill each other, let us spend those billions on agricultural machinery, agro-processing, where Africa is lagging behind, mining equipment, petroleum drilling equipment, and set up our own companies. Unfortunately, there is even less intra-African trade. And our trade with the outside world amounts to billions of dollars. But we trading even amongst ourselves is a problem. Why can't we, for the sake of our children, the sake of our continent, and for the dignity of black people all over the world, unite, reconcile, work together as a formidable continent? Because we are the wealthiest continent on the face of the earth in terms of natural endowments. Unfortunately, in realistic economic terms, we are the poorest of the poor. Everybody is looking low upon us. Whereas our own natural resources are being used to fatten those people that hate us. The same natural resources, our own natural resources, are being used to kill our own people. A
Pan-Africanist I am very concerned about the happenings in Africa, especially West Africa. Yagut, of recent, I have seen the ECOWAS introducing the anti-coup d'etat unit. Ñu ne pour coup d'etat dafa wara stop. Ku ko def, they will form a big unit, ñu ñew attaque la. We are not in support of coup d'etat. Let me make that very clear. And I want them to hear this. We are not in support of coup d'etat. I was a member of the Pan-African Parliament and have advocated strongly for us to introduce a term limit to make sure that we do away with coup d'etats in Africa, especially in West Africa. So meaning, I am not in support of coup d'etat. But I have a concern. Before setting up a unit or anti-coup d'etat unit in Ecowas, isn't it time that the African head of states or the ECOWAS head of states look into the reason why there are coup d'etats? What are the root causes of coup d'etats? Let them put their house in order first before they set up an anti-coup d'etat unit. Let them put their house in order. And I believe their house is not in order. This unit is set up to defend them and to protect them only, nobody else. What is more coup d'etat than your national constitution gives you 2-term limit, 5 years, 2 terms. After serving 10 years, you want to change the constitution for another term. Is that not a coup d'etat? Because you feel you have the powers to do that. The soldiers have the powers to coup d'etat. That is also another coup d'etat. And they are living with them there. They are there. In the name of civilian, putting on mufti clothes, calling yourself a Democrat, when you loot all the resources of your country, mislead people, torture them, imprison them, burn their businesses to us, and you call that a democracy? Or a civilian rule and an illegally elected government? The leaders must stop lying to their electorate first. They must stop the corruption. They must stop looting our resources. They must understand that they are not a better citizen than anybody. They are given a responsibility, a role to play to help develop the countries and make sure that there is peace and tranquility and respect the constitution of the country. But this is not happening. Example is this government. This government has lied to people in 2016 that they are going only for 3 years. Was that not a lie? Who asked them to tell people that we are going for 3 years? Were they forced to say that? They went around the whole country, lied to everyone. When the people started reminding them, this is what you promised us, they threw tear gas on them. And the president is bragging, yes, when I threw tear gas in them, they never came back. Does that not anger the citizens? You throw tear gas on your people. Some of them are wounded and you stand out there and bragging that I throw them a tear gas. They never come back. That alone can anger the citizens. You promised the people you will have a security sector reform. It's never happening. The civil service sector reform is never happening. The Janneh Commission was violated before the end of the commission. When you take all the assets of the former president, and now you are busy buying assets, your days are coming. I thought they should have learned, or they could have learned from this. Unfortunately, they are not learning. So before you create a unit to go against any attempt of coup d'etat, put your house in order, stop lying to your electorate, stop lying to your citizens, stop looting the resources of your country, stop corruption in your country.
The sound of Africans is patriotism. Let us be patriotic. Do not attack each other anymore. Do not attack each other for the interest of the West. Do not. That is the song of majority. But we have a lot of problems, much more. And I think somehow this move here and there will put things right. It is so serious in Niger. It is so serious, and it is the same in majority of these countries. In fact, most of these Francophone countries are worse. Why? Because France is so hard. If you look at the British colony, there is a little or less influence. In fact, it seems the British colony somehow withdrew their fangs in some of the countries that they dominated and enslaved and colonized and raped. They sort of took their hands off a little bit, But France is a country without nothing. France is ready to eat your bones. They're not just done with your flesh. They are ready to eat your bones. They are ready to suck you dry. And Macron is a man who is dedicated to this job. We are talking of a man who decided to leave women around him, but he took this like for his teacher in school. And for one reason or the other, maybe psychological, decided to marry his teacher. It's as serious as that. So he's a man dealing with some psychological issues and maybe mommy issues and some other kind of issue. When such a man operates, somebody say, what's the big issue about getting married to your teacher? There's a lot, because your decision in life comes from a lot of various factors. So if such a man is the president, of course he's towing the line of his, of those that had been there before. That tells you why Macron threatened Niger, saying any country, is referring to Francophone country, that goes against their own interest, goes against France's interest, that country will be met with brutal force. What does that tell you? How can you go to a country, you pick up their resources, let's say a gram of uranium costs $200, you take that off from their land, you claim that you are the one bringing in the equipment and the technical know-how to mine such resources, and you return with $11. Of course, I know that $11 is not all that they bring back. There are bribes here and there. And of course, the biggest of it, they will back the president to remain in power for as long as he wants. Same like what happened in Cameroon. Look at Paul Biya. He is dead. The man is gone. Yet he's the president. And they will say, no, we do not want to get ourselves involved in the domestic politics of that country. What we are interested in is that we can get and mine off, rape, rob the country of its resources to maintain ourselves, nothing more. Now that Nigeria has decided to rise up, all of a sudden, France is saying, no, we will strike. These are double standards. They will do for themselves what is good. But once it has to do with other people, they are ready to cut corners, they are ready to commit crime and still act like they are people of integrity and still call you third world country. It's as terrible as it is. And I will not blame them per se, because putting blame on France, all this time, we are fooling ourselves. We should talk about ourselves. Wickedness. Yes, wickedness. Because the president in Niger and some of this country did not come from somewhere else. He also grew in that country. He came from a family in that country. He did everything in that country. Culture, tradition, religion from that country. But immediately he could get himself there, he followed the pattern of his ancestors. Criminality, wickedness, looting, robbing themselves. Like and share this video, subscribe to this channel. See you in the next update.